Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino, and all of you. We are together again at last. Relax a moment. We have to talk. It is Friday, finally, February 11th, 2022. Let's start off with this. So yesterday, we heard from, one of the freaks of the Federal Reserve, Fed President Bullard, and his comments. The market didn't like it at all. He was talking about, the Fed being overly aggressive moving forward. They really want to fight inflation. You and I already realize this is fake. It's dog shit. It's not going to happen. The Fed is going to raise rates. There's no doubt about it. But what came out of its mouth yesterday, Bullard, bullshit, whatever, again, they're playing their game. The Fed, they're going to continue. Watch what's going to happen throughout the day, maybe even today. You're going to hear a totally different argument from another Fed president, whether it's today or over the weekend, but that's what they're going to do. Again, the same game. These freaks are going to say one thing. These other freaks are going to say another thing. And believe me, this is not by accident. Every single time we've come up against something like this where a big decision is going to be made, we get the same thing out of the Federal Reserve. And it seems that they're not in lockstep, but believe me on this, this is all part of the game, part of the scam that they continue to play on everyone. But you and me, we can see straight through it. It's just a game that they play. Let them play their game. We will play ours. Not just with regard to the precious metals market, which I've been telling you for years. Gold and silver are down this morning. Silver especially under pressure. We'll talk about that in a moment. But good. Like I said, this whole thing is a game. It's a freak show. The economy, the financial system, everything. And realizing that, well, good for you and I. Because we're not going to let this system beat us. Now let's talk even further. So if you were to turn on CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, open up a search engine and look at Reuters or whatever it might be, there's all of this talk right now about the 10-year yield. It's 2%. What are we going to do? Like it's the end of the world. Look, I know that you're smarter than that. And I have explained to all of you. Well, I told you my take. I said that I expected the 10-year yield to be 2%, over 2%. I'm sticking to my guns on this, okay? What does it mean? What is the market really doing? It's normal. The market is adjusting to the belief, and it's going to happen, that the Fed is going to raise rates. So there's nothing going on here that's abnormal. But again, what are they doing? They're trying to raise the specter of fear. Oh no. Oh no. What are we going to do? Make it up. People make it up. It's the game. All of it is a game. And once you realize that, you're going to be a lot better off. Even people who follow this blog, some of them, not you, I'd be willing to bet, but if you look at the comments, they are freaking the freak out that the 10-year yield is over 2%. Meanwhile, I told them it would be here. And I'm telling people over and over again not to panic. I don't know what's going on. I really don't understand it. I still do not see a single red flag. Yellow flag? Maybe. Okay, we were yellow when we got that big jump in the 10-year yield. It did raise my eyebrows. You all know that. I'm sure it raised yours too. But the market is adjusting to this. And we can't look at the 10-year yield independent of everything else. It's not the end all. It's not the alpha and omega, all right? It's just one piece of the puzzle that you and I are putting together, trying to gauge what we should be doing. It's that simple. It's really a cause and effect, but it's not just black and white, okay? We got to take in a lot of things. Now, I was writing down some stuff today. I wanted to cover specifically the business with the 10-year yield. People, it's not the number, okay? You already knew, because I told you I expected the 10-year yield to settle over 2%. We're over 2% now. Are we going to drop down a little bit? It's very, very possible. But I do believe once this whole thing pans out, all right, you're going to see the 10-year yield settle above 2. The market is going to love it. The market's going to love it. So the market's going higher. There's just no doubt about it, okay? I know those of you that are praying for a crash to happen every day, well, show me where the red flag is. It's not here. And if you think there is one, sorry to tell you, you're wrong. I'm already telling you as well, I've already told you as well, this is just normal, what we're seeing right now. There's nothing abnormal other than the freak show Federal Reserve. So let's just see what they do. I'm going to laugh. Look, yesterday I told you, when they floated out Fed President Bullard, and was talking about, oh yeah, the Fed's going to raise rates aggressively moving forward because they're really concerned about inflation. They couldn't give a flying shit. If shit could fly, which I don't think it can unless you want to fling it, but if shit could fly, seriously, it's crap. They don't care at all about surging inflation. In fact, they're going to make it surge even higher by design. They're going to inflate. They're going to continue to inflate. You think they're going to really contract the money supply? Do you really believe that? Well, let me tell you, raising rates ain't the way to do it. And again, if you understand really what's going on, that the Federal Reserve has no intention at all to really fight inflation, it'll make things clear to you. With regard to contracting the money supply, ain't happening. Ain't happening in no way, shape, or form. So what the lie that is being fed to people is yeah, raising rates, that's going to tame inflation. How about no? It's not going to happen, nor is it meant to have that kind of effect. But that's the lie being sold to you right now. But you see, you're too smart. You are way too smart to buy the dog shit. Anyway, let us move forward here. On the back of yesterday's, really the sell-off was sparked by Bullard. Okay, stock futures right now, it's just about 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're flat. Okay, I was sincerely hoping, and so were my Lions, that we would get a little bit of a pullback here. Okay, we got a little bit yesterday after a pretty insane run-up off the recent low. With regard to the banks, when the banks pull back, okay, I don't know if it's going to happen today or tomorrow, foam is going to start to come out of my mouth, okay, and my Lions, I will be foaming at the mouth because I will be buying more of the banks. You know which ones I'm talking about. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. I also believe, look, tech has gotten so massively battered, well, prior to the recent run-up. We need a pullback here too, and I will again be foaming at the mouth. So when my Lions out here, people, look, what do I tell you all the time? Recognize opportunity when it's there, and then you strike. That's when you strike. All right, now let's move forward. Gold and silver, under pressure. Imagine my shock here. Silver especially. Whatever. Let them play their games. We are going to play ours. There's no price discovery. You know that. We're betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank. If you believe that global debt, by some miracle, okay, via divine intervention, is going to come down, well, you have no clue. Global debt is going to continue to hyperballoon. Debts, deficits, slavery, okay, they're creating slaves on a massive scale. You all know that. Slaves to debt. Nation slaves, individual slaves, not going to stop. That's the goal, to create a world of slaves. Slaves to the debt system, to the debt-based economic model, which has destroyed nations, destroyed people, and is destroying the world, run by criminal organizations known as central banks. Okay, you want to get rid of central banks? You want to get rid of them? It's very simple. It's such an easy thing to do. And I don't understand people not grasping the concept. Okay, what do we know? Going on to this real quick. Central bank's product is debt. Since we realized that, If we were able to prevent, let's just say, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again for the new people. If we were able to prevent the Federal Reserve from issuing one single dollar that they just create out of thin air, just one, the Federal Reserve's debt-based system implodes the nanosecond that we can prevent them from doing that. But why do you think we've had this current president continue to inflate the debt, the last president continue to call on the Fed to inflate the debt, the one prior to him, quite obviously? It just doesn't stop. And they're not stupid. They realize how the system works, believe me. Anyway, you're not allowed to know that's above your pay grade. No, but I realize it is not above your pay grade, but last three presidents think it is, at least these three, and probably everyone before that. But they can't allow you to know that you are being systematically destroyed, systematically wiped out, that our country is being, the country in the world is being systematically taken over by central banks who have now become the government. Anyway, with that said, you keep stacking. You keep betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank. Every dip with regard to precious metals, in my view, should be bought by holding physical stuff. We're not talking about paper derivatives here. With regard to cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is now just under 44. It's the deal of the century, in my view. Cryptocurrencies need, in Greg Mannarino's opinion, to be in your portfolio. I'm not saying you need to be all in on it. You know me, okay? You got to be spread out. You got to be in a lot of different assets at the same time, risk on and risk off. So in the event of a shock to the financial system, you're still going to be sitting pretty. You understand? This isn't rocket science, people. It's really not, if you understand what's happening and you can see through the dog shit and the bullshit. Anyway, so in summary real quick, last time I looked, stock futures were flat. Okay, 10-year yield above 2%. It's astonishing to me to watch the mainstream. They're terrified. They're afraid. They're so scared. They're retards, okay? It's normal, okay? I told you this is what happened, and guess what? It did! Ah! People, this guy, before I lose my mind, loves you a lot. Let me know what you think about the things I have just discussed. Because I want to hear from you, because I realize you are pretty damn smart. Love you a lot. Please share the video. I will see you at the end of the day.